I used to work at Walmart. It was back about 4 years ago, and only for part of one summer. I only lasted about a month before I quit. Of all the jobs I've had, that's by far the shortest amount of time I've ever held a job, but it just really wasn't for me. I wouldn't have worked there at all, but I really needed the money at the time. Shortly after starting out, they would have me work near the self-checkouts. I would basically stand there at one register and watch over the self-checkout area, and I would help any customers if they needed assistance. There would oftentimes be problems with the registers. There would be an unexpected item in the bagging area, or somebody would accidentally scan an item twice. One night, I was working until close, which was 11 p.m. It was about 9:30 or maybe 10 at night, and I had been working for a few hours already. The self-checkouts were mostly full. I think we had about 8 registers, and one was broken. There was like 5 people scanning their items, and I was just standing there in the corner watching. I noticed this one guy was kind of looking around at me, once as he walked by, and again when he got to the register. He had a basket that was full of items. I watched him scan an item, then put it in a bag, then put that bag in his basket. He then scanned just one more item and did the same thing, then paid. I watched him stuff a bunch of other items in the bags and then start to walk away. When I saw this, I was angry, because the man was clearly trying to steal a bunch of stuff. I walked after the man and caught up to him as he was leaving the checkout area. I said to the guy, "You know you need to scan all your items, not just 2 of them." He looked at me sort of surprised, but then his face turned angry. He asked me if I was accusing him of trying to steal, and then pointed out how he hadn't left the store yet, so he hadn't technically stolen anything. Then he took his 2 bags and tossed them into a display of candy that was on sale. He said, "There, I don't even want anything from this place," and then he left the bags on top of the candy and walked out. I wasn't quite sure what to make of the interaction. I decided to just go back to work, as we finally closed soon. I worked for about another hour, and then we were finally closed. I clocked out, got my stuff, and left. I walked out into the dark and quiet parking lot. When I reached my car, I got inside, only to immediately be blinded by a bright light right in front of me. There was a car parked directly in front of mine, and it must have turned on its brights right when I got inside my car. They were shining right on me. Then I heard a door open and shut. The next thing I knew, I saw the man again. He was approaching my driver's window. When he got there, he knocked on it. I had a bad feeling, but I lowered my window just a crack. He told me to get out of the car, and he wanted to talk to me. Based on his angry tone of voice, I was not interested in doing so. "Why?" I asked. He then told me to get out and cursed at me. Then he tried opening the door, which I locked just barely on time. He then started to go to the front of my car and kick near the headlights. I put the car into reverse and backed away, then sped out of there. Thankfully, the guy did not follow me in his car. After this experience, I strongly considered quitting and applied to work somewhere else the next day. I ended up getting a different job and quitting about a week later. I've seen some strange people at Walmarts over the years, but this man ranks near the top. I'm not sure how he knew which car was mine or why he waited for me to get off of work, but I'm really glad I didn't have to find out. This happened just a few months ago as I was shopping at my local Walmart. I'm a younger adult female. There's a Walmart just under 10 minutes away from me. One night after work, I stopped at the Walmart because I needed to buy some new wireless headphones after mine broke. It was nighttime, and when I got inside, I saw that the store was pretty quiet. I made my way towards the back middle of the store, which is where the electronics department is. However, about halfway through the store, I realized I had to use the bathroom. I knew they had some restrooms in the back of most Walmarts, and they're typically used less than the ones in the front of the store, so I kept walking back there. I found them, and then went inside the bathroom. I was in a stall for not more than a minute when I heard the sound of somebody walking in. The footsteps were moving closer and sort of fast. Then they stopped right outside of where I was. I saw their shoes from below, and they were big. They looked like men's shoes. Through the crack of the door, I didn't see the person, but I heard a whisper. It was a loud whisper and definitely a man's voice. He asked if I would let him in. I was disgusted and said no. He then asked again and laughed a little before trying the door, which was locked. I told the man firmly to go away, and thankfully he finally did. I left very shortly after that and made my way back into the store. The bathrooms were right by the electronics department, so I walked right over to see the headphones. I found the ones that I wanted to get, which were the same ones I had before, but they were locked in a case. I walked over to find the person that was working in the electronics department, and I found a man behind the counter they have there. I told him I was looking to get some headphones that were in a case, and he walked out to help me, but when he did, I noticed his shoes. They were the same ones of the man who was in the bathroom. I was immediately creeped out. As soon as he unlocked the case and I took the headphones, I walked as fast as I could away from him into the front of the store. I bought the headphones and left. Once I got in my car, I called Walmart and reported the incident. I'm not sure after that if he got fired or anything, because I didn't go to that particular Walmart location again until just a few weeks ago, but when I did, he wasn't there. This happened about 5 years ago. At the time, I was out a little bit later at night, and I needed to get a few groceries on my way home. I normally didn't get groceries at Walmart, but as late as it was, I thought it would be the only place that was open. I think it was maybe 11 p.m. or so, and when I got there, I parked towards the back of the parking lot. There wasn't a whole lot of cars there, but it's always been a habit of mine to park away from places. I've never really liked squeezing my car in tight parking spaces because I'm not a very good parker. Anyways, I parked my car and got out. Right away, I noticed that there was a man smoking a cigarette, and he seemed to be kind of just wandering around the parking lot. He was a little ways away from me, and it looked kind of suspicious, but overall, I didn't think too much of it. I walked inside and got my groceries. I really didn't need too much, maybe about 5 items or so, and I was inside the store for maybe 10 minutes. I then checked out and left to walk back to my car, but when I got about 50 feet into the parking lot and headed for my car, I saw the man again who had been wandering around, but now he was standing at my car as if he was going to try to break in or something. I stopped where I was and froze. I watched the man examining my car and walking around it. He looked like he had something in his hand, but I couldn't make out what it was. I considered what to do. Should I walk over there and yell at him? Should I call the police? Or should I just go back in the store? I decided to do none of those things. Instead, I stayed where I was and then pushed the lock button on my car. I was hoping the guy would hear this and run away. Instead, he looked around and then saw me. We made eye contact, but instead of running away, the man looked right at me and smiled. It was a creepy smile, and he then waved me over as if encouraging me to go near him. The insane-looking smile on his face did not make me want to go anywhere near. I just kept standing there. Then I saw the man start to walk towards me. I turned into the other direction and ran back into the Walmart. When I was inside, I called the police and told them what was going on. I did not see the man inside the store, so I assumed he was still outside. I didn't go back outside until the police were there. When they did arrive, my car had been broken into, but I really didn't have anything of value in there. It was just a little messed up basically, and the window was smashed. The man was long gone though, and I pretty much wasn't missing anything, so I just told the police what he looked like and then went home. The thing that bothers me the most about this was how the man was waving me over to him in the process of breaking into my car. It made me wonder what he was capable of.